It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning and welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast on this, the 8th day of August, 2023, coming to you from Central Virginia area, Bedford County, right near Lynchburg. Expecting a pretty decent day today. Hopefully the rain is gone on now. We got lucky yesterday, the big massive storms that went up and down the East Coast. One line of them went west of us and one line of them went east of us, and we got very little right through here. So we got lucky yesterday. All right, I do have several news stories this morning. The lead story, a close call for the Norwegian Breakaway. The Mardi Gras made a detour for a medical emergency. Thousands of flights canceled. A bond issue for the Port of Miami. A huge weekend in Vancouver. And taking a look at some cruise line ratings. That and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. All right, today, folks, is International Cat Day. So to celebrate that, I did grab Charmin this morning for a picture. He wasn't happy about the paparazzi, but it's International Cat Day, so do something nice for your cat, or do something nice for a neighborhood cat if you don't have a cat. Maybe give them a treat or something. All right. If you're listening via the podcast, you're always welcome here. You can access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. All the big hitters, just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. Anytime you're listening via the podcast and want to hop over to the video feed to check out pictures or clips or interviews, there's always a link in the description of the podcast, so you can do just that. There's absolutely no weather today for the first time here in several days, either in the Atlantic or the Pacific. Everything has just dissipated and gone away. All right, yesterday I made a quick mention of a special Alaska cruise that my buddy Nate is doing. I've gotten a little more information for you on that, just in case some of you may be interested in a Northern Lights cruise. There's actually 4 of them that are either 9 or 10 days in length. They sail on the 22nd of September, the 2nd of October, the 11th of October, and the 20th of October on the Norwegian Sun. There is no solo supplement. So a solo pays the same as, the per person price in a regular cabin. So that's nice. Price wise, the prices range from $428 for an inside, $469 for outside, $839 for a balcony, and of course your suites and mini suites are higher. But those are pretty good prices, both for solos and for regular dual occupancy. It's on the Norwegian Sun. It's a smaller ship. I like the Sun a lot. I've been on it twice and on its sister ship once. I was on the sister ship, matter of fact, with Hot Air Tom and Cindy last summer. But anyway, that's a pretty good deal for a Northern Lights. Of course, it's late in the season up there. It's going to be cold, but you dress appropriately. So anyway, if you're interested in that, let me know, and I will get information to my buddy Nate, and we'll get you hooked right up. All right. Today's top story, there was a bit of a scare for the Norwegian Breakaway. On Friday afternoon, a scary incident occurred, causing the Norwegian Breakaway to experience a close call when the Queen Mary II unexpectedly detached from the dock at the port of Civitavecchia. As a result, one of the QM2's gangways fell into the sea. The ship's mooring line broke as a result of strong winds. Thankfully, the assistance of tugboats and a good job by the captain enabled the ship to be recovered and brought back to the dock. There were no reported injuries. As the Norwegian Breakaway happened to be nearby, Carol Wade, a passenger aboard that ship, tweeted a photo of the vessel after it broke free. And let's see, that would be that. You can see the gangways hanging down on the side there. And she said, the lady Carol Wade said that the first day of our cruise from Civitavecchia, drama as the Queen Mary II broke away from its moorings and almost ran into our ship. 3 tugboats came to the rescue. Wade later posted a second photo showing the Queen Mary II's gangways dangling off her side as the tugboat helped guide the ship back to the docks. By use of the anchor and bow thrusters and the tugboat assistance, the captain managed to bring the ship to the shore, but the other side of the dock. Then the passengers who were still ashore returned, and then they attempted to retrieve part of the gangway that went into the sea. They managed to retrieve one of them, but not the other. Everyone is safe, and thanks to the captain's quick action, there were no casualties or injuries. Another passenger posted, on board at the moment, it was quite hairy at one point. We were close to 2 cruise ships and a gin palace and ended up horizontal across the port, but no one was hurt, no ships damaged. Currently sailing to Valencia, and 9 on the Beaufort scale wind, so choppy, doesn't come close. So a little rough sailing, it sounds like to me. The ship visited the port as part of a 28-day Mediterranean sailing. Queen Mary II departed from New York on July 21st and will return on August the 18th. And of course, that was from Civitavecchia. All right, the next story this morning has to do with Carnival, Mardi Gras. Early yesterday morning, the crew of the Mardi Gras responded to a call from the U.S. Coast Guard to aid a sailboat on which a medical emergency had taken place. The couple aboard the ship was about 20 nautical miles from Castle Island in the Bahamas. The Mardi Gras was approximately 9 miles away from the sailboat when it received a call about the distressed ship from the Coast Guard. Just after midnight, the crew of the Mardi Gras responded to the scene, and upon locating the smaller vessel, dispatched a lifeboat. Once the sailboat's passengers had been retrieved and brought aboard the cruise ship, the man was given prompt medical attention at the medical facility aboard the Carnival vessel. The Mardi Gras is continuing its 8-day trip to the Caribbean, having departed from Port Canaveral, Florida. It is expected to arrive in Aruba on Tuesday. All right. I'll be back with a couple more stories after a quick word from one of our network sponsors. A powerful storm system whipping up the East Coast has killed 2 people and left nearly 400,000 homes and businesses without power. Images show the destruction caused by fierce winds that collapsed buildings, toppled power lines, and scattered debris across several states. More than 9,000 flights were impacted by the storms Monday, and already 800 flights have been impacted again this morning, most of them today in Florida. I'll talk about that in a second. Anyway, the FAA reported it was slowing air traffic heading toward New York, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. Although that round of severe weather tapered off, new threats are developing in the plains and the Southwest, with more than 5 million people facing at least a slight risk of damaging winds and heavy rainfall today, according to the Storm Prediction Center. And folks, this is like, and I mean, it happens all the time. You get this batch of weather and you get all kinds of flights canceled. Well, that's one thing in the airport, but then it throws everything awry in the cruise ports. Because still, like 40% of the people that sail try to get to the ship on the day of the sailing. So when they have air delays, getting to Florida, for instance, they don't have a chance to catch up. And they end up missing the ship. The ships are going to sail on time. Now, if you happen to be on air from the airline, like, for instance, Princess has Princess Air. If you use Princess Air, then I think they either wait for the plane to get in, or they make arrangements to bring the guests to the next stop, perhaps. But if you're on your own, just flying normally, and you get delayed or flights canceled or whatever, you're out of luck, folks. So we had a lot of people on sailings for yesterday, and there's going to be a lot more people today. As this early, it's already started off before the afternoon weather starts to build again. So it's just another reason, folks, for going a day early when you're going on a cruise. All right, the Port of Miami and Miami-Dade County is preparing to sell $499.2 million in bonds to help support cruise growth and infrastructure at Port Miami. The series of 2023 senior lien bonds will be fixed rate and fully amortizing, with a final maturity in 2056. Bondbuyer.com recently reported the bonds are expected to be priced later this month. When Seatrade Cruise News asked Port Miami about the timetable, the spokeswoman had no update. The Series 2023 project consists of the completion of Royal Caribbean's group campus expansion at the port, including a new building and improvements to parking and other areas of the campus. Port Miami entered into new agreements with Royal Caribbean to take over the campus project, redevelop Cruise Terminal G for Royal Caribbean's exclusive use, and build a new berth 10 to be served by the new terminal under construction by MSC Cruises. The campus lease with Royal Caribbean was amended by the county to finance $450 million of the campus improvements. As part of the amended agreement, the cruise operator's annual lease payments will increase by 125% of the project financing cost, up to $44 million over a 30-year period. The new Cruise Terminal G and Berth 10 are expected to be debt funded, capped at $325 million. New minimum annual passenger guarantees range from $600,000 during the development period, increasing to $1.5 million after substantial completion of Terminal G, expected in early fiscal 2027, and $2.1 million upon substantial completion of Berth 10. Royal Caribbean will reimburse the county for a minimum of 47% of project cost through a capital recovery surcharge fee. Moody's Investor Service assigned an A3 rating, that's an upper medium grade, with a stable outlook to the bonds. Fitch Ratings assigned an A rating, that's low default risk with capacity for payment considered strong, with a stable outlook. The rating reflects PortMiami's fundamental operating strengths, including its global tending cruise port market position and its role as one of the largest ports in the state of Florida and actually in the world. So, PortMiami getting some help in the financing. As of July 14th, PortMiami recorded more than 6 million revenue passengers, up from approximately 4 million in physical 2022, compared to 6.8 in physical 2019. Cruise-related revenues in physical 2022 recovered to more than 95% of pre-pandemic levels. Approximately 6.8 million passenger movements are projected in 2023. The port expects passenger movement to increase to about 9.4 million in physical 2028. All right. Vancouver had a huge day. Just an absolute huge day this weekend. If I can pull the right page up here. Just a slight delay. An estimated 50,000 cruise ship passengers passed through Canada Place Cruise Terminal at the Port of Vancouver over the BC Day long weekend. Sunday and Monday were the busiest days, with an estimated 15,000 passengers and 13,000 passengers arriving, respectively. The ships scheduled for Canada Place on Friday were the Celebrity Millennium and Crown Princess, while the ships on Saturday were the Majestic Princess and Koningsdam. On Sunday, Celebrity Eclipse, Brilliance of the Seas, and Nordam were disembarking and embarking passengers. And on Monday, the Disney Wonder, Norwegian Jewel, and Queen Elizabeth all did the same. So a huge weekend for Vancouver. And finally today, and our final story this morning, following a survey of 1,727 consumers, which has compiled rankings of ocean-going cruise lines based directly on passenger feedback. A variety of traits were examined to compile the overall scores, including customer service, passenger space, onboard facilities such as public areas, things to do, stateroom quality, food and drink, port excursions, entertainment, and social atmosphere. More unique characteristics polled include description matching reality, which would examine truth in advertising and overall guest expectations. Value for the money was also polled. This could be a very subjective measure for travelers with different budgets. Itinerary was also part of the survey, but could likewise vary greatly depending on individual sailings. The survey was conducted in November of 2022 and asked guests about voyages they had taken within the past 2 years. All right. All-inclusive luxury cruise lines naturally scored highest on the survey, with Noble Caledonia Ocean Cruises, I'm not familiar with them, coming in at the top spot with an overall rating of 90%. Viking Ocean Cruises, Saga Ocean Cruises, Seabourn, Oceana Cruises, Marella Cruises, and Regent Seven Seas Cruises all followed suit in the 80 to 87% range. Relative newcomer to the cruise market, Virgin Voyages, also scored a high of 80%. The adults-only cruise line had exceptionally high marks for the food and drink, as well as the description matching reality categories, though several other categories were not rated due to too few responses to create a meaningful result. Carnival Cruise Line, one of the largest passenger cruise lines in the world, rated 79%, which some people might consider a higher than expected score from a cruise line that regularly receives poor attention for the exploits of some unruly passengers. Yet Carnival's onboard facilities, social atmosphere, and description matching reality all received top scores. Disney Cruise Line also received a 78% rating, with Norwegian and Royal Caribbean both coming in at 77%. Further down the charts, the lowest score was really surprising, I thought. It belongs to Princess, which came in at the very bottom with a 67% rating. Somewhat surprising in the survey from which. That's it for news for today. Let's jump over in the chat room. All right, let's see who's with us. Hot Air Tom is here. Joanne's here. Good morning, Joanne. Nikki's with us down in Jacksonville. Mike's here. Hey, Mike. Cindy's with us. Hey, Cindy. There's Steve out in Kentucky. Says good morning to everybody. Emily's with us. Wow, she got out of bed for a change. Fiona is in her groomer's van getting a haircut. We'll post pics soon. Okay, that's nice. Good for Fiona. Kenneth's with us. Hi, Kenneth. Mike says, come on, folks. 14 watching and only one like. Click that thumbs up. Thanks, Mike. Elizabeth is here. Buenos dias, Chile, and the gang from lovely Cozumel. Already 108. Wow. With a wee bit of humidity, 75%. Another pool day. Yeah. She says, ha ha. Autocorrect didn't like her Spanish. That's funny. Chile, did you notice that Princess gave another benefit to the plus and premium packages? You get to the specialty dining meals. You get two specialty dinings. Yes, I did see that. So, and Elizabeth goes back in Spanish and says, Buenos dias. Keeping me company as I cook. New baby in the family. Ah, very nice, Joanne. Congratulations. Yo, Brooklyn in the house. Hey, Eddie. And everybody speaking back and forth with Eddie now. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up today. I've got my 12 o'clock meeting with Viva Voyages folks. And then following that, I've got a joint meeting with Pete and the big boss for Passion for Cruises over in the UK. So hopefully we may be talking about some more hosted cruises on this side of the pond. So hope so. Anyway. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I'll see everybody back here, same time, same channel tomorrow with some more silliness. Don't forget, smash that thumbs up button. That helps the channel out a bunch. And also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. We continue on a terrific run with subscriptions. It doesn't cost a thing. Certainly helps the channel out a lot. Hit the bell notification. You'll be notified when I go live or when a new video is up. All right, guys, that's it for today. I'll see everybody back here tomorrow morning. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a fabulous day, everyone. I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry, so if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.